Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly present the Altoona Area High School marching band under the direction of drum major Rachel Kennedy. The band opens this evening's festivities with the Altoona Area High School band fanfare and the school fight song. The Altoona Area High School marching band. At this time, would you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem and remain standing for the Altoona Area High School alma mater. And now, and Altoona band leadership. The downfield line performed to the band Sigurd Marks, Barnum and Bailey's favorite. Let's go, Mountain Lions fans. Put your hands together and clap along for the A song.
this program to bring you a special report.
Good evening and welcome to Mansion Park. This is Altoona Mountain Lion football. Tonight, Cedar Cliff Colts come to town for senior night for the Mountain Lions. They did get in the win column last week. They had a nail-biter back and forth with Chambersburg. They scored with less than 2 minutes to go. Chambersburg drove, but the Mountain Lions came up big and stuffed them inside the 10 on 3 different attempts. So the Mountain Lions get their first win. They're 1-7. Cedar Cliff had lost to Carlisle earlier in the season. Cedar Cliff is back to the Mid-Penn Commonwealth Division for the first time in a long time, Chris.
Yeah, they've been in the Keystone Division, which is that 5A league, for quite some time now. They're back in this year in the 6A division, the Commonwealth Division, and the Mountain Lions have not played them since 09. They lost the last 2 that they played, but won the previous 3 before that. So over the years, they've been fairly even with them. And like we said, I've not played them forever. This is a completely different animal here, 15 years later. So, we'll see how they come out. They seem to be very big on tape. They run the ball downhill at you. They throw a little bit too. The quarterback, Bennett Seacrest is not bad. He's a decent player. So the Mountain Lions could have their hands full tonight. But it is senior night, last home game. They got a win last week, get off the schneid a little bit, maybe take some of that momentum from last week and bring it into this week.
Well, you can feel the excitement around the team this week and tonight coming into this game. They feel like they can win the rest of the season. Next week they are on the road at Carlisle, who is still winless in the Mid-Penn. So the Mountain Lions will come out tonight and see what they can do. I'm Jim Abbott along with Chris Strawmier, bringing you the action tonight on MLTV. And I would like to thank the MLTV crew and Mike Baker, their advisor. Tonight, Mr. Baker is the director. He's also the graphics and sound man. Camera operators are Avery Reimer and Riley Piatti. Sideline cameras, Elena Saylor and Connor Waite. Sideline spotters, Wyatt Kuhn and Bryson Johnson. MLTV coordinator, again, is Mike Baker. So when we look at these two teams, the Mountain Lions are in maroon, both shirts and pants with white helmets, and it looks like they're lined up to play the Indianapolis Colts, as Cedar Cliff has always had this type of look. They got the blue pants, the white shirt, and they got that horseshoe on their helmet.
Yeah, hopefully they don't play like the Indianapolis Colts, but we'll see how that transpires tonight. But looking forward to this matchup here. The Mountain Lions are essentially, I don't have any information here, but you'd think playing for their playoff lives, they would have to win some games here, probably win out to go to the playoffs. I have no idea what's going to happen. That's their goal, and that's their plan. These are 2 winnable games to end the year, games that they can compete with. So they're going to put their best foot forward tonight to try to finish up this not so great season, but on a high note, you win 3 in a row, you go into the playoffs, you see State College, it's a rival, you never know.
So the top players on Cedar Cliff offensively we'll talk about first. We've already heard a little bit about Bennett Seacrest, who is averaging about 110 yards a game passing, and then running the ball. Their Mr. Everything is Princeton Dent. It goes by P.J. Dent. He has 554 yards, but he's got 5 touchdowns. They've had a runner who has more touchdowns, less yardage, but we haven't seen him in the last couple weeks due to injury. So we'll see if he plays tonight.
Yeah, Finkboner. I don't know what his first name is. I think it's Cade Finkboner. I think did the brunt of the action here the first half of the year. We'll see who comes out tonight. This isn't the NFL. We don't have an injury report. We have no idea who's going to come out and play. So 42 was his number, and DJ Dent is number 6. So we'll see who comes out for the Colts, but not right away because the Mountain Lions will get the ball here first, to start this night off.
Well, the honorary captain tonight was Ryan Spees, the class of 1990. He's done a lot, state trooper, and he's got a son this year that plays offensive line. He had 2 sons last year, the one moved on to college. So the Mountain Lions get the ball at the 10. They're coming up the middle, and he is hit down at the 27-yard line.
I think that's Isaac Clemens. Is that 22?
That's 22.
So not bad field position here to start this ball game for the Mountain Lions. See, they come out, you know, they've had success in the past against teams that they haven't seen in a while. The option is kind of goofy to get used to, and, you know, we just said they haven't played Cedar Cliff in 15 years, so, you know, sometimes that's an advantage for the Mountain Lions. We'll see how that plays out here tonight.
So Cedar Cliff looks like they're going to be in a base 4-3 defense with the 2 outside backers really up on the line of scrimmage, almost a 6-1. Harrington is waiting for the snap. He falls back to pass, throws one over the middle, and it is over top of his receiver.
That was intended for the tight end, Vukovic. He was open. He just overthrew him.
So it is 2nd and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Vukovic did find a seam, was open, but the ball was overthrown. This time, Niedermeyer's under center. Or Harrington, excuse me. And that's a quick handoff to Staines, and I don't think he did he get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe?
They're giving him the line of scrimmage. That might have been generous. So very stout up the middle. Cedar Cliff, big size up the middle. So they're going to have to, Mountain Lions are going to have to try to attack via the perimeter, I think, tonight. You always have to show that give. Like, you have to show it, right? You have to do it. But I don't probably anticipate a lot of success up the middle for the Mountain Lions tonight, but we'll see how this thing goes.
Their line goes 310, 290, 285. Roll out. Harrington throws it up and intercepted.
Deflected. Number 1, Julius Tirado comes in and breaks the play up and bounces it right to Landon Howell, number 22. Gets the pick for the Colts and puts them in really, really good field position.
So they will start on the 32-yard line of the Mountain Lions. The receiver looked open for a second, but there were 2 men covering on that side, and they went right through him to get to the ball and made the interception.
Yeah, they like that roll out to the left. They say it helps the quarterback square his feet up with better footwork, but he's very slow at turning his body around, and that's contributes partly to the receiver not being open.
Hand off to Dent. He is going to go off tackle to the left. He's going to pick up about 8 yards on his first carry, as the entire left side of the line for Cedar Cliff just, their blockers just took the Mountain Lions out of the play to the right, and there was a big hole, and Dent picked up 8.
Second down and 2.
Three guys in the backfield, hand off to Dent again. He goes up the middle, gets through the first level, and is tackled by the safeties at about the 15. So that's going to be another gain of 9. So Cedar Cliff firing on all cylinders in these first couple minutes of the game. We're not even 2 minutes in. They got an interception and 2 big runs by Dent to put them in the red zone.
Yeah, huge hole up the middle there for Dent on that play. So far, both tackles have been made by the secondary of the Mountain Lions, and that's not a good sign.
Seacrest throws it. It's low, but it is caught, and he'll get down to about the 6. I wasn't sure which receiver that was. Was that number 19?
I
15.
think it was Blake Seacrest, which I believe is his brother. He's number 43, 6'3", 225-pound sophomore.
89, second 1.
That was Seacrest to Seacrest, I believe.
And here's a handoff to Dent, and he is hitting the backfield. He gets close to the 5, but I don't know if he's got the first down. I think he's going to be a little short. So it's going to be a 3rd and still 1, but it's actually like 3rd and a couple inches.
Yeah, Gavin Dunkel did a good job coming around the outside and catching Dent in the backfield. Somehow he got back to the line of
Good evening,
scrimmage. It
Mountain
looked to be a
Lions.
tackle
Where your
for
line?
loss.
No, I'm just with a camera.
Really?
Yeah. I just have camera.
Seacrest gives it to his brother.
I just have camera.
His
So
brother
I
goes
don't have to
straight
go
up the
stand
middle
in
and
there.
into the end zone.
I'm okay.
For a touchdown.
Blake Seacrest,
I was there.
4-yard touchdown
It
run.
was my birthday, so
And Cedar
I was-
Cliff jumps out to a
Great.
7-0 lead. Usually when teams come here, in that first series or the first quarter, Cedar
Why is
Cliff
this
has been
such a
firing
job?
on all cylinders since the first
I can say,
No trouble getting off
do
the
you want
bus
to say good
tonight. They
evening,
come
Mountain
right
Lions,
in
or do you want me
here.
to say that? I'll say it. Okay.
Like a Mojine
Well, I'll say
against
it.
the Mountain Lions.
So I'll say good evening, Mountain Lions, and you'll say, wear your lion ears,
Good.
and then together we'll say this is Friday Night Lights. Let's do a practice round.
It is up and it
Good evening, Mountain Lions,
Wear your lion ears.
and this is Friday Night Lights.
is Grant Anders.
Did we eat that?
can you do it again? I started recording late.
Okay.
3,
Okay, ready?
Stands 7-0.
1.
Good evening, Mountain Lions,
Wear your lion ears.
and this is Friday Night
Only
Lights.
3 minutes some
Can I
odd
get a clip
seconds
of that?
into this game. There's
What?
8:22 to go.
Who
First
going
quarter,
nuts?
7-0
Them?
for the Colts of Cedar.
Oh, say, I don't know.
Yeah, that's not exactly
Hi,
the start
Mamfa.
the Mountain Lions wanted.
Okay, well, when are they going to go crazy? Because
Right now, can we just get them to fake it for a video?
We literally
yeah, he listens to you.
Yes.
Team to go reset.
I need to get them to get a little excited. Can you like get excited for an edit? Can you like get excited?
Cedar Cliff will kick off once again. And as we stated, it's senior night, so we will be seeing the introduction of all seniors and the cheerleaders, the football team, and the band at half. It's taken at about the 15. There seems to be a hole. He gets through the first hole and all the way out to the 41-yard line. Again, nice run by, is that Peyton? No, that's Liza Clemens. Altoona's got a lot of double numbers. So I apologize there. Nice run. Went straight through it, got out to the 41. So the Mountain Lions have good field position for their second drive.
And first and 10 after the 41-yard line.
So see if the Mountain Lions can answer that quick touchdown by Cedar Cliff.
There's a quick handoff up the middle, but no, Harrington keeps it. Dives forward, and the defensive end crashed down and held onto his leg. So he is going to be able to pick up 3 yards. Was that also Seacrest there? Was that 43?
Landon Howe, I believe, 22
Okay,
was
sorry
on the
about
tackle. So yeah, we're gonna have to. They're gonna have to, like we said, attack probably around the perimeter here. Then you get that option going, or even just toss plays.
And that time it was Seacrest, and he just came right on through and hit Harrington in the background. I am sorry about that. And that is a loss of 3, so it's going to be 3rd and 10 again.
Loss of 3, 3rd down and 10.
Seacrest came off that left side, and I think that's who they were trying to isolate, but he came in too quick for Harrington to make the pitch.
Yeah, that's very difficult when when the quarterback gets tackled at the midline there. I mean, that blows the entire play up, obviously.
So it is a 3rd and 10. Harrington drops back. It's a screen. It's set up nicely. And Mountain Lions are going to pick up big yardage. There's 20, 25, 27 yards on that screen. The screen was to, is it number 17?
No,
Staines. So Staines faked.
27.
He faked his way through and ended up just taking the screen and getting a nice gain.
That was great execution by the Mountain Lions.
This one just goes right up the middle from the 32. We're going to go down to about the 28. Lewis Staines again on a gain of 4.
Gain of 4, second and 6.
So the Mountain Lions inside the 30. Staines the other way. Looks like he's going to pick up another 3. So it's going to be 3rd and 3.
Lewis Staines, Coach Miller on the stop.
Harrington gets set under center. Fakes the handoff. He follows Staines. Is stopped initially, but then puts his head down. Maybe gets 2. So we're going to go to a 4th and 1. And I have a feeling the Mountain Lions are going to go for it.
Yeah, they haven't tried a field goal all year, so I don't anticipate it starting now. Be about a 40-yarder from there. So this is their philosophy. They're a running ground team. Yep. Get the first down.
Tried to get a jump. Cedar Cliff did not go.
Still 10 on the play clock.
Harrington gets set again under center. And he's just going to hand to Staines. Staines gets down to about the 21-20, so he will get a first down. And the Mountain Lions are in the red zone at the 20-yard line. Other games tonight in the Mid-Penn State College is hosting Carlisle, CD East and Bishop McDevitt, Chambersburg at Cumberland Valley, and Harrisburg at Central Dauphin.
Cumberland Valley with a big win over Harrisburg last week. Beat them 24-21 on Saturday at Harrisburg. Probably didn't see that one coming.
Harrington just follows Staines, and he'll gain 5. He put the ball in, took it back out, and just followed him through the hole. And it's going to be 2nd, and we'll give him 6, a 4-yard gain.
2nd and 6.
So the Mountain Lions had the big screen play for 27 yards, which moved them into Cedar Cliff territory, and then they just picked up a first down on the ground.
Mountain Lions they just grit it out. That's what they do. They're not trying to be pretty. Occasionally they'll pop a pass in there, but try to be physical up front. There's the pass. Oh, underthrown. He was open.
Man was open between 2 defenders.
The pass brings up 3rd down and 6.
So it is now 3rd and 6.
It was thrown just a half tick late also. He's got to throw it just before the break into the window. He waited till after the break, and then he tried to force it in there, which made the bad throw.
So we have a 3rd and 6. Handoff to Staines, and everybody's trying to push the pile. They're not really going much anywhere. Staines will get 1, but it's now a 4th and 5. Had the Mountain Lions attempted a field goal all year?
I don't think they have.
It would only be about a 32-33 yard, which isn't much more than an extra point.
4th and 5 at the 15.
We haven't seen anything really around the perimeter yet. Mountain Lions will call timeout and discuss this.
Timeout.
So, talking to the coaches tonight before the game, they had a great week of practice. They feel confident. They got a little bit of, a little bit of jump in their step this week after that win last week, and that was a great game back and forth. Mountain Lions were down 21-7, scored 2 touchdowns, and then scored the leading or winning touchdown with about 2 minutes to go in the game. It wasn't over as Chambersburg drove from their own 20 down to the 5-yard line. The Mountain Lions stopped them and turned it over on downs, and that was the game.
Yeah, after fumbling right before that, down deep in Chambersburg territory with a chance to take the lead, they got the ball back, didn't let that phase them, went down and scored anyway. You know, earlier in the year they might have had their head down and you know, felt bad about themselves after a play like that, but they didn't, and they went down and scored, held on for that all-important first victory. Get a little taste of it now. See what it feels like. Hopefully that carries on into the coming weeks.
Big 4th and 5. Harrington's going to roll to the right. He'll stop. There seemed to be an open man in the back. Now he's covered, and the play goes out of the end zone. It was a little bit slow thrown behind him.
And the Colts take over on down.
Yeah, it was intended for Amar Amy Ballas. He just tried. It was almost up for grabs, kind of, and he just couldn't quite go up and get it. I think number 8, Dom Allen, for Cedar Cliff was in there to break that up.
So Cedar Cliff will take over on their own 15. Harrington is 1 for 5 with an interception, 27 yards. Den is in the backfield next to Bennett Sechrist, and he's going to roll and just keep it. I think something was wrong there, and he's going to get hit and knocked down at the 19. So he does pick up 4.
On the carry. Leaving Bear on the hit.
So it's going to be 2nd and 6.
At
first he didn't look like he wanted to run, and I think there was a misconfusion in the backfield.
Yeah, that didn't seem right, to be honest with you.
So twins to both the left and the right. Man comes in motion. Dent swings out. They're going to try a screen the other way. It's set up very well, and Cedar Cliff gets through the first level into the second level, and he's breaking across the middle of the field and comes all the way out to the 44-yard line. So that's a gain of 25.
That's number 1, Julius Tirado, on the catch there. It was set up very well. There's more blockers than defenders out there, that's for sure.
Down at the 44.
So Cedar Cliff will come out this time with 2 running backs and then the deep back. And Dent gets through the first man. There is a penalty. I believe it was holding. I think one of the fullbacks, it might have been the other Sechrist, who scored the first touchdown, grabbed and tackled one of the Mountain Lions.
Holding on the offense. 10 yards. Still first down.
Surprised that wasn't called by anybody in the backfield. The side judge threw that. You don't often see holding from him, but it was a tackle.
So it is going to be 1st and 20 now. Sechrist goes back to pass. He's looking, and he gets hit. And a fumble. Did the Mountain Lions get the ball? I don't know. I think that Cedar Cliff picked it back up, and here's a penalty. It's probably going to be on sportsmanlike on the Mountain Lions.
I don't know. I saw a mountain lion fly.
Personal foul. 74 White.
The down should count, I believe, right?
It was after the play. So it's going to move all the way back from the 30 to the 15. Because it's a spot foul. It does count as a sack and a fumble. So they're back at the 15. Everything they gained is now gone. It is going to be 1st and 34.
39.
It's more, 39.
39.
1st and 39.
So it should be 2nd, right? Yeah, the box has 2nd, over there. So 2nd and 39. Wow, I look for a screen or a draw, I would say. There's your delayed handoff.
And Dent's going to come through and pick up a big gain all the way out to the 26. That's a gain of 13 for Dent.
I mean,
so it's now going to be 3rd and 20.
It's crazy how that's the automatic thing when it's 2nd and long, and yet the defense still doesn't react to it. It's amazing to me. So it's 3rd and 18.
It's going to be another handoff. Dent goes through the first line. He gets
more than
almost
18.
through the second.
It was way more than 18.
Yeah,
he didn't gain
28.
On
it was 20.
It was 28. So 4th and about 14. They're going to have to kick it away. Mountain Lions do a decent job there.
So due to a couple penalties, the Mountain Lions are able to slow this offense down a little, and that should be the end of the quarter before the snap.
And there it goes. And Parker White has been decent at returning kicks. We'll see if he has anything in him here when we start this 2nd quarter. Number 29 for the Mountain Lions.
So the first quarter is over, and the Mountain Lions are on the short side right now, 7-0, as Cedar Cliff came out, drove the field. They didn't have much of a field to go. It was only 30 yards. And then a 4-yard run by Blake Seacrest gave Cedar Cliff the lead. Mountain Lions drove down to the 15, but could not convert on a 4th and 5. And Cedar Cliff took over there, but due to some penalties, they have not moved the ball much and just punted back to the Mountain Lions. So we're going to check if there's any updates on some scores in the area. State College out in front of Carlisle, 7-0. Bishop McDevitt, 7-0 over CD East. And Cumberland Valley, 7-0 over Chambersburg. Clearfield is on top of Central right now, 7-0 in the Laurel Highlands. Central Cambria beaten Westmont 6-0. There's the punt, and it was almost blocked, but he gets off a beautiful punt. Mountain Lions are getting away from it, and it's going to take a Cedar Cliff roll down inside the 25 to about the 21.
Yeah, very close to having that blocked. But he did get it off and gets that roll, and this is actually the worst field position for the Mountain Lions tonight.
That was a 40-yard punt, but man, did it have some height.
So
Parker White was not able to get a return as the punt was so high, they just had to get away from it.
Correction, that was a 40-yard kick.
Hazelwood now back behind Harrington. Staines having a breather. Hazelwood gets about 2.
Gets about 1. It will give him 2.
Gain 2, second down and 8 at the 23-yard line.
So it is October, which means you have playoff baseball. Yankees have a chance to clinch today, and so do the Dodgers. Currently, the Mets are out in front 10-6 over the Dodgers in the 5th. The Yankees start at 8 o'clock.
It was just 10-3 or 10-2. 10-2 it was.
Hazelwood this time gets up to the middle, gets through the first man, and all the way out to the 31. So that's going to be very close. I think he's going to be just a little bit short. So it's going to be a 3rd and a yard.
You know, Hazelwood has some quickness and some vision, and he can move a little bit, but he's not very big. And you've had Staines and Harrington back at that fullback position this year. They just go straight ahead. If you could combine those two, you would get the perfect back.
Harrington just straight through the middle, and not only gets 1 yard, but picks up, we're going to give him 5. So another first down. for the Mountain Lions.
Bounding call at the bottom of the pile. Gain of 5 and a first down.
As the Mountain Lions are starting to get a little more on their carries. Quite a few of the Cedar Cliff players play both ways. And as we said, they're pretty big. Biggest being number 52, Gunnar Hiller, 6'3", 310. There's a handoff to Adams. He's going around the edge. He'll get a couple and still keep going and then get slammed down at about the 38.
Brandon Adams on the carry, they're flagging the play.
There's a flag down. I don't know if we're going to get a hold.
We saw penalties hurt Cedar Cliff's last drive.
Holding on the offense.
It's going to be from all the way out at the 42, so it'll come back to the 32. So it's only going to be a penalty, is going to be a loss of 4. So it's going to be 1st and 14.
And I like getting around the outside. Adams had some room out there, some space to make a move or two. I don't think Cedar Cliff is extremely fast, so I think you can make some hay out there if they can get some of their skill guys out there.
Harrington drops back, looks over the middle, and throws it again a little bit too high. That one intended for Baker.
Yeah, so this high and behind Jerome Baker, who had a couple catches last week, first 2 of the season, and a couple big situations for the Mountain Lions last week.
14 at the 32.
So 9:37 to go in the second quarter. 7-0 Cedar Cliff here on senior night for the Mountain Lions.
And this is not optimal for the Mountain Lions. They like to stay on schedule. They get behind the chains.
There's a handoff coming across to Amy Ballas, and
We're going to get another hold.
he does get around the man on the outside, gets out to the 41, but there's a flag at the 32, so it looks like that's going to mark him back even further. So that's the 27.
Offense. 10 yards from spot. Still second down.
So it'll take it back to the 17. And
That's
it's now
not
going to
from
be
the spot. That's from the line of scrimmage.
They're saying from the spot.
It's from the spot in front of the line of scrimmage. He just said it wrong. They marked it from the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
That's better. I was going to say.
So it should be 24 at the 22.
And once again, it didn't look like there was much there, but Amy Ballas used his speed to get around the edge. I think they can find some success out there.
Harrington keeps it, goes up the middle, and again, they go after his legs, and he's brought down about the 29 or 28. What are they going to give him? 29, so that's a gain of 7.
Gain of 6.
And it's going to be 3rd and 17. I don't know how they have 3rd and 22.
I don't know. I think they're just behind.
3rd and 18.
And that's just a handoff to Hazelwood. He was not able to get through the first crease. We'll give him out to the 30 for 1 yard, but the Mountain Lions are going to be forced to
Julian Hazelwood on the carry. Willow Cooper. The tackle gain of 2. 4th down and 16. At the 30.
And this will be the first time that we see Harrington punting tonight. He waits. It's a decent kickoff. It's going to bounce about the 37 and take a great Mountain Lion roll inside the 10, inside the 5. And I think it's going to be right out of bounds about the 6.
That's about 64 yards. They mark it at the 6.
There's no officials
There's
down
nobody
there.
even down there.
There's not a single official down there. And they're putting it at the 32.
They said it was touched.
Their first touching right here, first down.
Somebody touched it, I guess. I didn't see that. I did not see that at all. Nobody's complaining, so it must have happened. Oh, that's unfortunate.
That was a great roll. A 25-yard difference. There's the handoff to Dent. He's coming to the left, and he's got some space. And he doesn't get touched till about the 45. He's going to dive himself out to the 47. That's a gain of 15 again.
DJ Dent, Parker White on the stop. That's a gain of 15 and a first down for the Colts.
The Mountain Lions do not have an answer right now for Dent.
No, in that last drive, they hardly used him. They used him one play, and it was a holding penalty.
Their offensive line is blowing the Mountain Lions off the ball there. Here is Dent again, and this time he's going to get hit and maybe get a yard. No, they're going to mark him back at the gain of nothing. They're going to mark it as a 2nd and 10.
Wesley Bumgarner on a hit. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
That was a better job of the Mountain Lions front, containing, holding their ground.
When you go up against a bigger, stronger offensive line, you need to go low and clog the holes. There's Den up the middle, and both Mountain Lions from the outside came around.
Yeah, Leland Bear got there, I think, first.
Initial hit by Leland Bear and number 6, TJ Dent.
So it's 3rd and 10.
That's another way to get it, come around the outside.
Yeah, I think it was Bear on one side, and it was Gavin Dunkel on the other. So 3rd and 10, again, you have your 4 receivers. Last time in this formation, they threw a receiver screen. This time they're looking deep over the middle. They throw to the outside to the tight end. He's going to pick it up, and he's going to pick up 11. He's going to get the first down. And again, that was number 13.
Reception to number 13, Peyton Schaffner.
Peyton Schaffner.
Gain of 10 and a first down.
He's not even on my list. He doesn't have very many catches, if any, this year.
So Cedar Cliff will keep their drive going. 5:36 to go in the half. 7-0 Cedar Cliff. Trips to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Dent is lined up on the left. They're going to fake the handoff, look over the middle, and that is hit to Seacrest's little brother. He scored the first touchdown in the run. This time he catches a 43-yard touchdown pass.
43-yard touchdown by number 43, Blake Seacrest.
Yeah, that was a good pass on time, right in the hole of the zone, and then just catch and run afterwards.
And the kick is up and good again. That is Enders.
Kick by Enders is good.
So the brother combination of Bennett and Blake Seacrest hook up for 43 yards and another score. And Cedar Cliff comfortably out in front, 14-0 at this point.
Yeah, you had 3rd and long, and you're sitting there trying to get a stop and make them punt the ball back to you to convert the first, very next play, long touchdown pass. Now you're down 2 scores. That's that's quite a turn of events there in a minute and a half.
Sort of a pooch kick, and I think it's going to go out of bounds. So the Mountain Lions should get it at 35. That was very close to bouncing back in. But Adams stayed right with it. Saw that it went out of bounds. So it'll go to the left hash.
Another thing you can do over there is actually just stand on the sideline and field the ball. And then that's just like the ball being out of bounds, and it's the same result.
Correct.
So a lot of guys don't know that. It's a little trick. Veteran move.
So the Mountain Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 35. There's the pitch coming around to the outside. Makes one man miss, but not the second. That is Amy Ballas. He will lose a yard.
And Mikey Chisholm's out there. He has to hold that block just a split second longer, and that could have been a little better of a gain. Well, I guess not better of a gain in the first place. Ended up being a yard loss on the play.
Well, on the college front, you had the Nittany Lions last week have a great comeback versus USC. They won in overtime 33-30, and man, Tyler Warren is the man. He had a heck of a game.
He's amazing. He does it all.
So they got a well-needed break this week. There's a run up the middle, maybe a yard back to the original line of scrimmage. We'll give them 2. Is that Staines? Nope.
Penn State and Pitt both undefeated. And Army and Navy both undefeated. How about that?
Who was the running back there? Was that Adams?
3rd down and 9.
I did not see. I think it was Staines, wasn't it? It was Staines. Who's
no,
playing
Staines
fullback?
isn't in the background, in the field.
So that must have been Hazelwood, because it was the give to the up back.
Harrington's going to roll, step up, throw it over, but was not able to get enough on it to get it over to his receiver on that side. And the Mountain Lions are going to be forced to punt once again.
Pass brings up 4th down and 9.
Yeah, that was just. I think he evacuated the pocket just a bit too early, and then the whole play broke down after that. He had Amy Ballas over here, but I don't know if he could have got enough yards.
There's another kick, and it is caught at the 21 or 31. He is hit immediately, but is able to keep
nobody
working forward
at all.
And got 11 yards on that return. That is Owen Anastasi. He's able to pick up 11 to get out to the 42. 3:33 to go in the half. Cedar Cliff now out in front 14-0.
Cedar Cliff looking for that score at the end of the half and then get the ball back to start the half here. They will get the ball to start this second half, so the Mountain Lions really need to hold here.
Well, that's a big run up the middle by Dent. He actually cut it back, and one of the Mountain Lions is down hurt. Dent will get 9.
Gain of 9 official time.
Can't make out the number. Now looking around the area. Again, we'll start in the mid-pen. State College 14-0 still in the first against Carlisle. Bishop McDevitt still 7-0 to Cedar Central Dauphin East. Cumberland Valley 7-0 on Chambersburg. BG in the Laurel Highlands 14-0 against Phillipsburg. Clearfield still out in front of Central.
It's Parker White, and he's up. He's walking off.
That's good. Tyrone and Penns Valley is tied 14-14. Claysburg out in front of Mount Union 6-0. And the last, Hollidaysburg is playing Williamsport tonight. They are currently down 12-0 in the second quarter. It used to be an Altoona place that they used to go play yearly back when I coached. That's like
forever.
30 years ago, 31 years ago.
And then they quit for a little while when they joined DeWhippiel, and then we got them back for about 5 or 6 years.
And then it stopped, and we played them in the playoffs back in 2020. Yeah. And receivers wide open deep, and it is caught, this time by number 15, down to the 11-yard line. 38-yard catch. He just ran right past the Mountain Lion defender.
Leland Bear was kind of caught dead in his tracks there and just trailed the play. I don't know whose responsibility was to help over the top because he's not a safety, so that's a hang linebacker. This time it's a run to Dent.
He's going to get himself down to the 5, so he's going to gain 7.
DJ Dent, Logan Rubovich on the stop, gain of 6.
So 2:20 and a running clock here, plenty of time for Cedar Cliff. They have all their timeouts left, which,
as you said, Cedar Cliff, if they score here, go up 21-0, they get the ball to start the third. They could put the game away before the Mountain Lions really touch it again. Seacrest will get set under center. Moving to the right, he hands off to Dent. He stops and will get tackled right at the 5. So we'll give him 1.
Branson Adams penetrating in the backfield there. Good job getting a hold of Dent.
Number 28, Branson Adams. Gain of 1.
1:39 to go. Neither team. The Mountain Lions used 1 timeout, and Cedar Cliff has not used 1 yet.
Looking for that punch out here. Mountain Lions could use a turnover big time. TJ Watt punch out.
And they hand it off to Stain. Wow, that's the 3rd touchdown tonight for Seacrest. He runs right up the middle, 5 yards and a touchdown. He can't do anything wrong right now.
He's had 1 touchdown coming into tonight on the year.
And now he's got 3.
Now he has 3.
That was too easy on that drive. Receiver went right behind the defenders. Made a nice play because the ball wasn't a perfect throw. He made an adjustment to it. And then between Dent and Seacrest, they just run it up the middle until they score.
1:13 left here. It'll be tough for the Mountain Lions to get anything going in 1:13. Yeah, this is not what the Mountain Lions had in mind here. Coming off a win, get some momentum, just playing so flat tonight. Defensively, they're just not playing with any emotion or any energy. To quote John McKay of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they had their expansion team, we're not running or passing well. We're making up for it by not blocking or tackling well either. Something to that effect. It was a great statement.
Again, another short kick. Mountain Lions will take it, and that is was Parker White, right?
Looks like it, yeah. He's
so
back in.
The injury, he's back in. The Mountain Lions will start first down at their own 40, 1:03 to go.
That's real good field position here. You can hit a play or two. You can get down there. You have 2 timeouts. There's 1:03 left. I mean, what have you had to lose now? You're down 3 scores. You might as well try to air it out and make something happen here.
looked like they were going to go option. It was just a handoff. They'll maybe pick up 1 yard with Staines. You're inside a minute, 54 seconds. Was that Staines?
And Patterson,
No, Zion Patterson, who's actually been out for a while and back. I don't know why you just hand it off up the middle.
Here's a pitch. This one goes to Adams. He gets around the corner. He breaks the first line of defense, gets out of bounds with about a 20-yard gain.
That's great. That's awesome. You just wasted 35 seconds. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so now you're in position. You have 2 timeouts. You can take a couple shots here.
What's Patterson's number?
Zion should be 26, maybe? Yeah, that's what he is, 26.
Here comes a screen. Set up this time to Patterson. He's going to get 10, 15, 20, down the sideline, cuts in at the 15. It's down to the 10-yard line, 18 seconds.
Call your first timeout, 18 seconds.
It's their second timeout.
Or your second, well, yeah. I meant the first of the 2 that you had. Yeah, call your second timeout.
29-yard gain
you
on that play.
Ample opportunity to score now.
Timeout. Altoona.
Hey, they were just setting them up with that first run play, I guess, huh? Lulling them to sleep. It worked. It worked. So far, so good. Now you gotta punch this in. You down here. This would be a big answer, and a long way to keeping yourself in this ball game. You never need to make some halftime adjustments. You come out, you force a 3 and out, and next thing you know, you're just 2 scores down with the ball. Like, that's not a bad situation. This is a very good answer so far. They need to punch this in.
Well, this drive basically has been 2 plays. The sweep by Adams, 20 yards, and then Patterson taking a screen pass, 29.
And I would attack on the outside, just like we've been talking about. Just evidence of the last 2 plays. Attack on the outside here.
Staines is back in. 18 seconds, 1 timeout left for the Mountain Lions. There's a pitch around the end. It's going to be a throw. Parker White is going to hit Harrington, and it's a touchdown, Mountain Lions.
Nice play call. Halfback option pass back to the quarterback. And he wasn't looking that way to start. He was looking to his right, and I don't know if that was by design or just out of necessity. But Parker has played quarterback in the JV games, so he has a little bit of experience doing that. It worked out very well. Great answer by the Mountain Lions. Yeah, that first running play, they were just setting them up, see? Lulling them to sleep, and it worked out very well for the Mountain Lions here. Chathams has it blocked.
So the score is 21-6, 11 seconds to play in the half.
Correction, Thomas Watson. Thomas Watson on the block.
Looks like Thomas Watson got through the line there for Cedar Cliff and got his hands on that extra point.
So it is 21-6. Mountain Lions have to not give up a big play here with 11 seconds left.
Yeah, that's not out of the question.
You want to make sure that you sort of just, I would think, squib the ball along or line up and hit the front man. That happened over the weekend in one of the pro games. Line drive right off one of the front men, and they covered it as an onside. That was a college game, excuse me.
2 and 9 are back, so that's Owen Anastasi and Jaden Heckard for
Anastasi's their big, quick man. He has a lot of speed, and he's got a lot of big plays this year.
Yeah, he's got 21 catches, 214 yards, and 4 TDs. We haven't seen him much tonight catching the ball, but
so it is a little pooch. It is taken by number 7. He is tackled almost immediately, and only 4 seconds came off the clock. So there are 7 seconds left.
Tyler Ellenberg, number 7, 5'7", 170-pound wide receiver. He's a senior. He got hit pretty hard.
So if you are Cedar Cliff, do you try to put one up here?
No, not with
or you
7
just take a knee?
seconds. I would think you would take a knee.
So in the passing game right now, Sechrist is 5 for 5, 126 yards.
I mean, you might just hand it off and see what happens. Like, your guy could break one.
And they do that. They hand it off. I don't think that is the same running back, is it? Is that 26 or 28?
That's probably Otero.
26.
Yeah, he has a lot more carries than the other guy. I would guess that's Alex Otero, 26. His shirt was all wrinkled up on the back. You couldn't see what his number was.
Well, just quickly looking at some of the statistics and some of the scoring, Cedar Cliff has scored most of the time they've had the ball. They've had to punt twice. Blake Sechrist opened up the scoring with a 4-yard run. Enders with the extra point, 7-0. Also in the second quarter now, Blake Sechrist this time took a 43-yard pass from Bennett Sechrist to make it 14-0. They got the ball back. They had a big play. Run it a couple more times, and Blake Sechrist goes in from a 5-yard run. So he had 1 touchdown all year, scores 3 tonight. Then the Mountain Lions, with 1 minute and 7 seconds left in the half, took the ball, and in 4 plays, they went the distance, the last being a little bit of a trick play, a pitch to Parker White. He threw back to Mark Harrington, and a 10-yard touchdown pass. Mountain Lions got on the board. However, the extra point was blocked. So that's where we stand right now at half, 21-6. Enjoy the band and the senior presentations. We will be back with you to start the second half.
The feature majorette is Lily Solomon. This year's marching band halftime shows will feature the return of some of the staff favorites from the past 25 years. Mr. Detweiler has picked this great musical selection for his last home football game. Tonight's show will feature the Beatles Magical Mystery Tour. At this time, we want to recognize this year's senior class who are performing for their final home football game. We congratulate all of these seniors on their hard work and dedication and wish them the best of luck through their senior year and into the future. As we introduce each senior, we ask that you please hold your applause until all of them have been recognized. From the Majorette Captain, Jillian Piranunzio, escorted by her mother and father, Amanda and DJ Piranunzio. From the Silk Captain, Paige Radel, escorted by her mother and father, Lisa and Nelson Radel. Silk Co-Captain, Andrea Slusser, escorted by her mother and father, Jennifer and Lee Slusser. Olivia Behe, escorted by her mother and father, Nikki and Brian Behe. Rylan Garman, escorted by her mother and father, Janelle Williams and Brian Garman. Madeline Miller, escorted by her mother and father, Heather and Matthew Miller. Cameron Rhodes, escorted by her mother and father, Jen Buckrup and David Spencer. Lainey Root, escorted by her mother and father, Annie and Matthew Root. From the band, drum major Rachel Kennedy, escorted by her mother and father, Melanie and Andrew Kennedy. From the clarinets, Griffin Holland, escorted by her mother and father, Aaron and Ryan Holland. Trevor Wilson, escorted by his mother and father, Rebecca and Matt Wilson. From the tenor saxes, Alexander Slolga, escorted by his mother and father, Amy and Mark Slolga. From the trumpets, Kelsey Kreider, escorted by her mother and father, Jennifer and Joshua Kreider. Marvin Dufresne, escorted by his mother, Marie Francois, and sister Kavia Dufresne. Randy R.J. Grove, escorted by his mother and father, Terry and Randy Grove. Blake Riddle, escorted by his mother and father, Chris and Sam Riddle. From the baritones, Jaden Beanie, escorted by a friend of the family, Betsy Crone. From the sousaphones, Seth Goheen, escorted by his mother and father, Nicole Baker and Gary Goheen. From the percussion, Kaylin Krause, escorted by her mother and father, Jessica and Robert Krause. and Reese Myers, escorted by his mother, Adrian Sweeney. Would you please join in a round of applause for this year's senior band and band jump members. And now, we would also like to recognize our senior cheerleaders and Lioneers. From the cheerleaders, Elena Lynch, escorted by her mother, Heather Minor, and her sister, Riley Lynch. Rayleigh Butler, escorted by her mother, Whitney Smith. Mia Fye, escorted by her mother, Kathy Fye, and her father and stepmother, Matt Fye and Heather Parsons. Grace McGraw, escorted by her mother, Jessica Endelman, and her father, Chris McGraw. Laura Reed, escorted by her parents, Jim Reed and Natalie Barlick Reed. Lauren Waldo, escorted by her parents, Brent and Stacy Waldo. Haley Woomer, escorted by her mother, Karen Friedenberger, and her father, Chris Woomer. Now a nice round of applause for our senior cheerleaders. And now let's meet our senior Lioneers. Captain Riley Peggy, escorted by her father, Gary Peggy, and her mother, Erica Peggy. Captain Sydney Hockenos, escorted by her father, Nathan Hockenos, and her mother, Jennifer Hockenos. Annabella Finelli, escorted by her father, Patrick Finelli, and her mother, Tiffany Finelli. Mia Turfman, escorted by her father, Eric Turfman, and her mother, Jess Turfman. Megan Finelli, escorted by her father, Jerry Finelli, and her mother, Jamie Lewis. Izzy Johnson, escorted by her father, Todd Johnson, and her mother, Amy Johnson. Samantha Hopkins, escorted by her father, Patrick Hopkins, and her mother, Christine Hopkins. And Emily Starr, escorted by her father, Matthew Starr, and her mother, Jamie Mattis. How about a nice round of applause for our senior Lioneers? In fact, how about a nice round of applause for all of the seniors out here tonight? And now, on Altoona. Altoona Area School District Music Staff Assistant Brandon Kinder. And the following band staff will be retiring from the many years of leading the Altoona Area High School Band. I hope you'll give the following people a nice round of applause. Major Ed Advisor Kelly Detweiler. Silk Advisor Lisa Moore. Band Assistant Drew Yingling. Percussion Instructor Mike Baker. And Band Director Larry Detweiler. We've got the winning number for the 50-50. It's going to be up on the big board. And incredibly, the number is 784-552. That's 784-552. Worth $450. If you got it, report to the flagpole. That's 784-552. We'll keep it up on the big board for you. Money flying out of heaven. And this night we're going to full moon, $450, 784-552, $450.
Good evening and welcome back to Mansion Park. It is week 9 of high school football, Altoona versus Cedar Cliff. Currently at halftime, Cedar Cliff is out in front 21-6. So Chris, what are things you saw from the first half?
Well, number one, Blake Seacrest had all 3 touchdowns for Cedar Cliff. He's having a night. He's doing it via the ground and via the air. So he's been so far the player of the first half. Not too far behind is P.J. Dent for Cedar Cliff. He has been kind of unstoppable at times in the ground game.
He has 11 carries and 78 yards in the first half.
Yeah, that's a pretty good first half. You're well on pace for over 100 yards. The Mountain Lions seem to have success when they attack the outside. So look for that here in the second half. See if they can attack the outside, use their speed to get around the edge on some of these guys. Because Cedar Cliff very, very stout up the middle. They've tried to run up the middle many times and have had issues getting past the line of scrimmage here against this massive Cedar Cliff line. So should be interesting here in the second half. Cedar Cliff gets the ball to start. We'll see if the Mountain Lions can get a 3 and out, get them back on their offense, back on the field so they can try to come back here. Down 2 scores, it's doable. It's doable now.
Well, this is about the same position they were in last week against Chambersburg, and they came back and won that game. So it'll be interesting to see. Mountain Lion defense the D front needs to clog holes. They can't get blown off the ball. If they feel resistance, they feel getting pushed, they've got to drop and just clog the holes. The secondary needs to make some plays. Currently, Bennett Sechrist, the brother of Blake, the older brother, 5 for 5, 126 yards in that touchdown. When they've thrown, and they haven't been short passes, they've been pretty big. They've been 25, 43, 38, 11, and the first catch was only 9 yards. So they've made a great difference by throwing the ball. Well, we have a surprise visitor here tonight, Mr. Strawmier. I think I can't see the top of his head. Larry Detweiler, the band director from Altoona Area High School, is here with us. He has led the band. How long have you been at the high school?
This is my 25th graduating class.
So the 25th graduating class at Altoona High. He was at Roosevelt before that.
Yep.
And I believe him and his wife are both retiring.
Yes, we are.
So
We're both retiring the end of this year.
You have 32 years and she is 35?
No, I'll have 34.
Ooh.
So I had a couple years out of the district before I came.
All right. So what is your memories of, I don't want to just say Altoona football, but Mansion Park Friday nights?
So, I was an Altoona graduate, so I marched in band here on Friday nights, and it actually started when I was at Roosevelt. We played our games here, so my first memory is, marching in the band at Keith Roosevelt games, and that was like the thing, so we started with that, and then, marching here, and obviously, when you're in high school, the Hollidaysburg game is the thing, when I marched, Hollidaysburg was the last game of the season.
Right.
So we would always finish the season with Hollidaysburg. It was a blast. And then, coming back and just being full circle, being on this side of it, is just more than I could ever hope for.
We're here with Larry Detweiler, the band director of Altoona Area High School, who is retiring, and this is his last evening with a football game here at Mansion Park. What are you going to miss about Fridays?
So for us, the biggest thing for us is marching in pregame. Especially when you open the season, Hollidaysburg's here and the stands are packed and everybody's excited about the new season. You're just coming out of summer band. There's nothing like marching in that first night. I tell the kids all through summer band, the new ones, I'm like, just wait. You can't imagine marching in that first night. So, that was probably the one that kind of got me tonight again. When we were out in Columbia Park getting ready to march in, you're thinking, oh, this is the last time I'm going to do this. Like, this is, that's one of the highlights of the night.
So are we going to see you as a guest here at Mansion Park? Are you going to come to games? Are you?
As long as I'm invited, I'm coming back. So, no, I've already told Brandon that, I'm always a phone call away for anything he needs. I've been around the program and invested too much in the program to just walk away. I just can't do it. I want to be around and be a part of it and support it and make sure it continues to be successful.
So not only are you leaving the band, I believe almost every advisor is leaving.
Yes.
We have Mr. Yingling, Mr. Baker are both leaving.
Yes.
They're percussions.
Mr. Baker is the percussion, right? Mr. Yingling is our kind of Band-Aid, catches everything, fixes everything. And then Lisa Moore is the silk advisor. She's going to be going. Lisa was actually ready to go probably 3 years ago when she retired, and I told her she wasn't allowed to leave, so I did. So we kind of forced her to stay back and finish it out with us.
Well, again, this is Jim Abbott along with Chris Strawmier. We're talking to Larry Detweiler. And then on top of that, you did not mention your wife, who is
and Kelly
orchestra, but now she's also the majorette.
Yes,
advisor.
She has been with us for the past 8 years as the majorette advisor and has been doing the orchestra position for the last 35.
So you have more time to travel the world to see.
Although the girls are done,
the girls are done with the baton
now.
Isn't that how that works?
So now
right?
we'll just travel on our own.
Right.
We can travel and not just see gyms.
There you go. Yeah, not.
We'll actually see the sights this time.
We got a long pass. Mountain Lions had a chance for an interception.
So one of the things that just struck me right now, about 25 to 30 years ago, we all played on the same basketball team together for the school district.
Yes, we did.
I remember those days.
Yep.
You were my two big guys inside.
Well, Larry was a little bigger than I was.
But that just made me think of that for some reason.
And that was right after we all student taught together too.
Yes, right.
So.
We had like Doug Spade and Steve Oswald and Dickie Smith and John Robertson would throw up the threes. You know, we have some memories. It's great.
Absolutely.
I would just like to say congratulations to you. The Altoona Marching Band would not be what it is today, you know, without you and Kelly and what you've done over the last 25 years. So
I mean,
I thank you very much.
Well, and I've always, you know, my thing has always been, you know, you always hear about John Money and Darwin Beisland, and obviously you should hear about those two, and you know, it's just I just consider it an honor to be able to continue what they did, and you know, hopefully try to keep it to somewhat of a level that they set before us. You know, they're obviously people I emulate and would be proud to be considered in the company of.
So this is your last football game, but you do still have a lot of things coming up from the band side.
Yes.
And the jazz band. And today, I think you had some guests come to the high school.
We had the Army Commodores in, or the U.S. Navy Commodores in today. They did a clinic with us and then did a concert for the kids in school. And yeah, it was funny because we were just talking out in Columbia coming in, and the kids were like, you know, aren't you really emotional about? And I said, to be honest with you, no, because we have so many things left this year. I'll let you cut in there, Jim.
There goes P.J. Dent. I was going to say for 74, but he gets pulled down from behind at the 10.
It's going to be a horse collar added onto that, but it won't be much of a penalty.
That's going to be a
huge
64-yard run.
After a big tackle for loss, the Mountain Lions have him back behind the chains, and Dent just explodes for that huge gainer.
So, but yeah, I was saying to them, yeah, I'm really not emotional on this one because we just have so much stuff in the year. You know, we still have, you know, all of our holiday travels and concerts, and we'll have all of our spring stuff and festivals. And I said, when it will really hit for me is the spring concert, because that's truly like kind of where we're going to pull it up, and we're going to finish it. We have a special arrangement of the alma mater that Fred Morden did years and years ago, and we're going to finish the concert with the alma mater this year, and that'll totally be the one that'll hit me. I'll cry like a baby.
Most retired teachers say they don't really feel it till that first day of school, and they're not required to be there.
It'll be the first day of August.
I was going to say
on the football field.
That's where I was going. I was thinking it was going to be summer band camp.
Yep, that's when it'll be.
When you're going to say, wait, what are we supposed to do right now?
When it's not the last week of July and I'm charting a football show, I'll be like, wait, should I be on my computer like charting and worrying about numbers and doing this and everything? Yeah, that's when it'll hit in the summer when I'm like, hey, I don't have to do summer band.
So knowing you're not going to be the one that just sits there and doesn't really do much. You're going to get up and get out and do something.
Oh, yeah.
So do you have any ideas yet? Or
So, you know, both of the girls are out of town now. Our youngest is in Allentown, like right outside of Allentown. Our oldest is in Missouri, right outside of St. Louis. Our youngest is a middle school orchestra director with the Methacton School District. So one of our big things is, you know, anytime she has a concert or they're doing whatever, we want to be able to just jump in the car and say, hey, we'll be there. You know, like our parents were for us. And, you know, same thing with Courtney. Courtney's helping with the majorettes with the University of Missouri marching band.
Right.
You know, and she has some school things. So, you know, with both of them, we just want the freedom to be like, hey, if you're doing something, we'll be there.
Well, you'll get a well-deserved break, you know, when summer rolls back around and everything else. I know that we will miss you. Personally, my daughter is a junior and was holding out hope that you guys would make one more year to get her through. But I wish you both well. You guys have been such great ambassadors for the Altoona Area School District and music. You know, personally, I've had all of my daughters go through music, both with orchestra and jazz band and some other things. I know Chris's son played in the band also.
My son played drums for you. So, as a band parent, I mean, I have my eyes open to what all you do and what all you go through. It's pretty amazing. You know, and as a colleague in school, I mean, yeah, it's been awesome,
thank you.
and it's one of these days I'll be able to join you. I get my son out of college.
It comes quick.
Well, Kelly and I started together. We
Right,
did our
yep.
pre-student teaching together in Bald Eagle area, and we both started together. So this is my 35th also, but mine are still in college
Yeah,
and one in
that's
high
it.
school. So I might be
Yep.
around a couple more years.
Yeah.
But
That was-
again, I just want to thank you for everything you've done, and another great band again this year. So
thank you.
don't want to hold you up so you can go out and spend the last half with them.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, if anybody hasn't seen this band, just go around to any other high school football field anywhere in Central PA and just look at the difference. It's pretty amazing, to be honest with you. It's utterly amazing. That the one earlier this year, whenever the junior high and the high school played together, it
that
was
was a
so
good one.
loud and crisp. I was like, oh my goodness
And
gracious.
the night we did alumni band
And
was
alumni,
a blast
yes,
too.
that was a good one,
we had
too.
a lot of fun with that one.
Meanwhile,
so.
the Mountain Lions are having a goal line stand here.
Yes, they're going to have a fourth and
It's
3
fourth
here.
and 3.
Cedar Cliff took the opening drive of the second half. They're about 4.5 minutes in. Got the ball on a big 60-yard run and a penalty down to the 5, but 3 plays in a row the Mountain Lions have stuffed them. So big fourth down play coming here. Again, Larry, thank you very much. We'll let you get out to the band.
Thank you.
Wish you well in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Again, it was Larry Detweiler, the Altoona Area High School band director of 25 years here and 34 years overall when he's going to retire at the end of this school year. And it looks like the Mountain Lions stopped them, but there is a penalty.
There's a penalty.
Is the penalty going to be, I think it's going to be a movement.
And the question is, will they have to run
Will it
the
be a
play
dead
over?
ball? Will it be a dead ball and they move it
foul?
back out to the 7? Mountain Lions stuffed it. It sort of reminds me a little bit of the end of last week's game where they came up big 3 times.
Yeah, prior to the snap, so they're going to have to rerun the play out at the 7.
So it's going to be 4th and 7 for Cedar Cliff here. 4th and goal at the 7. So they are going to send their kicker out since they're all the way back to the 7. And the kicker came out, but the holder didn't.
That's not going to work out very well.
We're down to 15 seconds. Holder quickly runs back on. Actually, I think that is Seacrest. It was set up for a 25-yard field goal. It is down. The kick is up, and it is good. So Cedar Cliff got a couple points, 3 points to start this first drive on a big run by P.J. Dent. He now has 13 carries, 142 yards. I believe that is his biggest day this year.
Yeah, that's a day already, and there's 7 minutes left in the third quarter. So 24-6. That makes it a 3-score game. So the field goal, the math probably comes into play a little bit there, right? Try that field goal, make it a 3-score game.
Correct. So the Mountain Lions will play Carlisle next week. They are on the losing end of a lopsided 54-0 score to State College at halftime. Cedar Cliff, as we saw it here, is 24-6 over the Mountain Lions. Bishop McDevitt 20-7 over CD East. Chambersburg is beating Cumberland Valley at the half. One of the up men take it for Altoona and will fight his way out to the 44-yard line. Looks like that was number 32. Was that Logan Caldwell? So the Mountain Lions will start their first drive of the second half. Their last drive, they scored in 4 plays on a throw from Parker White to Mark Harrington. Basically, it was a sweep to the right, and it looked like it was going to be a halfback pass, but the opening man was not open. He turned, and Harrington was all by himself. And
so MJ Harrington has thrown a touchdown pass, run for a touchdown, and caught a touchdown this year. That's a well-rounded kind of. It's almost Tyler Warren-like.
So 2-yard gain on the run.
So once again, we're going to look, hopefully here, we're going to look for the Mountain Lions to attack around the outside here. You still, like we said earlier, you still have to run up the middle now and then to keep them honest.
And Harrington will take it, cut up around the middle. He'll get 5, 6, 10. He just keeps going. He gets all the way up to the 44, so that's a gain of 11 for Harrington. And the Mountain Lions get a first down on their opening drive of the second half.
It's a good, tough run by Harrington there.
6:14 to go in the third quarter. It was nice to get Larry Detweiler to come up and talk with us for a couple minutes. He has been a staple here, again, for the last 25 years. His wife has been a staple here since 1990. 35 years Kelly has led the orchestra as well as being a majorette coach. Here comes a pitch around the end, and Amy Ballas is going to get 10, 20, and he's still going down the sideline inside the red zone, and he stepped out about the 16-yard line. So that's a big 27-yard run by Amy Ballas, and they did exactly what Chris asked for. They're attacking the outside or the perimeter of this defense, and the speed of the Mountain Lions picks up another big first down.
They're marking all the way down to 12, so that's a gain of 32 on that. And you know, we've said that they have that edge. They have that speed to get around that edge. So we love the fact that they're doing that. Now you gotta make this count. You gotta punch it in. Finish the drive.
Harrington will follow and gets collapsed upon. He'll maybe get a yard. I don't think so. They're marking it still at the 12. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. Final in baseball, the New York Mets defeated the Dodgers 12-6. So that game will go back to LA Sunday night with the Dodgers up 3-2. The Yankees are just starting in their 5th game.
12-6. Everybody missed their extra points. A lot of offense in that game.
Pass and picked off. Nope.
Incomplete.
They said he dropped it. Hit the ground. So it is going to be a 3rd and 10. That ball was in the direction
I don't know if he got
of
hit.
Hazelwood, but it was nowhere near Hazelwood. Somebody is down like he has a cramp. That is number 15, Baker.
So I don't know if he got hit or it was just a poor throw. I couldn't really tell, but that was really nowhere near the receiver.
Hollidaysburg has come back from a 12-0 deficit and are beating the Millionaires at Williamsport. It is 16-12 at the half. Gorgeous night for football here at Mansion Park. This is the last home game of the year. Temperature got up to 72 degrees today, but the clock across from us says 44.
44 degrees. A little chilly out there. A little chill in the air.
Hey, are we getting a lot of guest stars tonight? Does this guy want to talk to us? With us that just came into the booth is Altoona Area High School Principal Andrew Neely. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, mister. Glad to be here.
So what is your analysis of tonight's game?
I'm going to say I didn't know a lot about Cedar Cliff. I knew the record coming in. I'll tell you their size surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, they're big in the middle. So how does football drive the student body? You know, how's that? What happens in the fall with the behaviors and everything else? Is a better team, the more excitement around the team, it's a nicer opening of the school year? Or, you know, how does it have an effect? How does football have an effect on the student body?
Well, one of my long-time mentors told me before I became a principal that the way the football team goes is the way that the high school goes. So I don't know that I entirely buy into that, but it certainly is nice when we have when you come in on Monday after a Friday night run. So.
How was the energy this week in the building after last week's big win?
Well, we were excited. We were excited for the team to get that victory, and
Harrington will cut it up the middle, and he's close.
Got the first down.
He got the first down.
He's
He's at the 1. So the Mountain Lions are doing what they did last week. They got down early, and they started to work back. We just had the band director, the departing band director, Larry Detweiler, on to talk to us. what has he done for you since you've been an assistant principal and a principal at the high school?
I would say, Mr. Detweiler is always sure to get the band ready for any event that we're having at the high school.
I'm going to cut you off for a second.
Touchdown.
Mountain Lions, I believe, was that Harrington just
It was
took the ball
Harrington.
straight up the middle and scored. So it is now 24-12, and I think you're going to see the Mountain Lions go for 2. Nope. I could be wrong, and I usually am.
Yeah, you kick it on this one, you're down 11, and that's touchdown, 2-point conversion, and field goal to tie, right? I think. Well, even though they haven't tried a field goal all year, so.
So what new things are going on at the high school this year?
Well, we just wrapped up this past week. We had a December All-School Assembly with Rachel's Challenge. They came in. They're a national organization to their goals to promote positivity and acceptance among students for all students. So that was a good event. Upcoming
Highlights from tonight's contest will be aired on
right towards the end of the fall
WPAT
sports season, so we'll be looking ahead to
local players,
basketball,
cheerleaders,
wrestling,
bands, and fan spotlights. WPAT, there are
wrapping
more
up the
games,
first
more
market, very
highlights,
hard to believe.
more sports features.
Yeah,
Flies by.
Elementary, I think we end on Tuesday, and you guys end on Wednesday with the first marking period. It is unbelievable how fast it has gone. You were talking about some other sports teams. Both cross-country teams are doing well. The Altoona Mountain Lion girls have Kate Noss that is running some of the best times ever in Altoona and has done very well. You have a soccer team.
Boys and girls.
But yeah, both boys and girls. The boys right now I think are 16-2, girls like 13-3, that are both playing at a high level. Tennis had another successful year. Volleyball might not have had a lot of wins in the Mid-Penn, but they beat Hollidaysburg twice. And then they won the other night also. I think that was Williamsport. But, there are some good things going on in the sports. There's good things going on. The band today, I think that
We had the Commodores of Air Force. Their jazz band came in, the Commodores. That was excellent. Kids got some one-on-one clinic time with those amazing artists, and then we had a great concert.
Yeah, my daughter was able to get a one-on-one pianist, and she really enjoyed it as it went through. I think you have the fall play coming up in November.
Fall play, we have I believe it's, what was the title? I just saw it the other day. We'll have a lot of students engaged in that.
Trunk or Treat's coming up.
That's right.
I think that's Monday night, the 28th, at the high school. You can go around and trick or treat through the high school to the different student groups that are involved. So it's good that you guys do a lot of community things. And, it's always nice to hear some good things going on at the high school, as that was one of my stops along my career.
This whole program we're part of right now is programmed through the high school.
Yep. And Mr. Baker is running the show tonight, and he's got his people here to help him. PJ Dent just putting a shoulder down into Parker White and picking up another first down. So Mountain Lions need to figure out a way to stop, but we have a flag deck here at the 36.
That's something on the offense, I believe. Holding. Another holding call by the side judge. That's twice. You just don't see that very often. That's unique. I'm sure their coach is livid about that. Coach Colin Gillen is probably not real happy about. That's a couple holding calls that brought back some big plays now for Cedar Cliff.
So we were announcing some scores just to give you the little update. Hollidaysburg was down 12-0 to Williamsport, came back and took a 16-12 lead going into half. A lot of the Blair County schools are doing well right now, other than Clearfield is beating Central 7-0. Mountain Lions, great play there on defense, and they sack Seacrest once again.
Take here Davis in the backfield. Great penetration there. Seacrest tried that read option again that he just was successful with a couple plays ago. Not this time, Tykeer says.
So we are now sitting at a 2nd and I believe 22.
2nd and 22.
This is what the Mountain Lions need to do here. Get the ball back, get out and score again, and make this interesting.
So Seacrest is waiting for the snap. And that is thrown over the middle, and it's going to be a pickup of about 12. That was to his favorite target, his little brother. So that was Blake Seacrest catching a ball from Bennett Seacrest. That's the 4th ball he's caught. And he actually had 4 balls for 73 yards. And he's somebody, looking at the stat sheet coming in, Chris, we wouldn't have thought was going to have a big day.
No, he had 15 carries on the year, and he had less than 4 catches. He's not even on my list. He might, if he had any catches at all. So he's just having like the night of the year here for him. 3 touchdowns already. He has all their touchdowns.
And is that a delay? Same side. No,
timeout.
Timeout for the Mountain Lions.
So it's kind of a big play. The Mountain Lions decided to talk this over. The last series they gave up a big 3rd and 9, and they gave up a 3rd and 10 earlier. So they want to make sure their coverage is solid here.
So Jim Abbott and Chris Strawmier here tonight. We're talking right now to high school principal Andrew Neely. Over the last couple of years, you have put in some new programs or new curriculum.
Yes.
Can you tell us about some of them?
So about 3 years ago, we added a program through Project Lead the Way, which is actually a series of 4 courses, all centered on the medical fields. So a lot of simulation, a lot of project-based learning. I honestly could probably run double the amount of sections I do in filming. It's a very popular course for us. We've been really pleased with what students are able to accomplish through that. A lot of partnerships too. Our kids just today, I believe it was, went up to the emergency room at UPMC to get a tour, learn a little bit about processes and procedures that happen in an emergency room. So
cool.
That's one of the newest programs we've added.
3rd and 11. Seacrest throws one off to the side, and it is dropped.
Well short of the first down anyway.
Yeah, it was short, and the receiver came back, was not able to pick it up, and it looks like Cedar Cliff's going to have to kick again or punt. The Mountain Lions are getting a little stronger as the half's going on. So how many years have you now been at Altoona?
My first year as the head principal, which is hard to believe, was the 16-17 school year. So it's been a while. And I had done 4 years prior to that as an assistant.
And the Mountain Lions let it hit one of their players, and Cedar Cliff's going to get the ball back. The ball short-hopped one of the legs of the Mountain Lions, bounced right to Cedar Cliff's hands, and they will keep the ball again. So you've been the principal for like 8 years, since 16.
16, 17
Is it everything you dreamed of?
It is a different day every day. I will say that. We have a lot going on at all times. I tell people that high school never closes. We have events every night. We have something going on, either on the athletic fields or in the auditorium or wherever it might be. So lots of clubs, lots of activities.
Seacrest tries to throw one in the flat to his brother again, and his brother's going to pick up 2 yards down to the 33.
Mountain Lions came on a blitz, and Seacrest did a good job. Cedar Cliff picked it up, and he just flicked it out there to his brother and made a positive play out what it could have been a negative play.
So one thing that our public or most of the school people maybe not know about you. After high school, you went into the Navy.
Yes, that is correct.
So you spent some time on submarines.
Submarines, yes. I was a submariner for about 5 total years. bit of juxtaposition to it.
Well, that's awesome, and again, thank you for your service and everything else. You've done a great job at Altoona High, doing things with the kids, and again, it's about the academics, but it's also trying to make a home for all these kids, getting them there, getting them to do something they want to do, and I think that the expanded curriculums and everything else that's going on at the high school does basically have something for everyone.
I think so. I would agree with that 100%.
All right. So 3rd and 8. It looks like a handoff to Dent. He's going to get through the first hole, and he gets 9.
First down. They're giving him the first down.
So the Mountain Lions, once again, a 3rd and 8 situation, give up 9, and the clock will start.
It's going to be the end of the quarter.
Yeah, there's 4 seconds left in the quarter. So going to the 4th quarter, Cedar Cliff out in front of the Mountain Lions, 24-13. Once again, I'd like to thank the MLTV crew and Mr. Baker. You have your camera operators as Avery Reimer and Riley Piatti. You have your sideline cameras as Elena Snyder and Elena Saylor. Sideline spotters, Wyatt Kuhn and Bryson Johnson. And the man in charge of everything is Mr. Baker. So thank you to the students. That is a great program. This is Mr. Baker's first year, taking over for Mr. Sipes, who seemed to be he started the program, I believe, back around 1999, 2000.
Back in the house. He's downstairs tonight, working a little clock down there, scoreboard action.
Yeah, I believe that box down below us is the retiree box. You have Mr. Fair, Mr. Shuda, Mr. Abood, Mr. Sipes, and is Kozak. Kozak's not here tonight.
He's not here tonight. Right.
Okay.
I think he's golfing in Myrtle Beach.
No.
It's a little warmer there.
So Cedar Cliff with a 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Start of the 4th quarter.
I guess my question is, did you get to talk to James Franklin here when he was here the other week?
I'm a big Penn State fan of an alum, and I've had the opportunity to talk to Coach Franklin a couple times when he comes in to say hi to the high school.
Yeah, when I was back as an assistant at the high school, Kevin Gibbons was being recruited, so I had many conversations with Mr. Franklin or Coach Franklin because Kevin was in my graduating class. It was nice to see. I thought the helicopter might have been a little over the top, but it was nice to see. He stopped here, stuck around for about a quarter, and then he jumped in his helicopter, flew out to Pittsburgh to go see some other recruits.
Yeah, allegedly it was Susquehanna Township.
Oh, so he went east.
East Pennsboro.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, East Pennsboro.
And Dent up the middle.
It must have been a player from Susquehanna Township because that's the guy they're recruiting.
Picking up an 11-yard first down. Dent just seems to find these big holes and go right through them. He's now sitting about 165 yards.
Yeah, he's been lightning quick, and he has good vision. And their offensive line has done a tremendous job opening big holes for him.
Well, when earlier in the week, I guess, when Coach Franklin was coming in 2 weeks ago, the MLTV was trying to set something up to talk to him, some of the kids and everything else, but it was found out that would be a violation because of recruiting and everything else for him to come and talk to one of the school's television crew.
He was actually unable to take photographs with any student if they were in 9th grade or above.
Oh, didn't know that either.
NCAA rules.
That's whatever. That's just crazy. It's the wild, wild west out there with NCAA, and they're worried about little things like that.
Coach Niedermeyer's kid is only an 8th grader, so he was able to get his picture. Yeah, there's so much going on, but at the same time you have the NIL that I think is just destroying sports. Guy plays 1-2 years, makes a name for himself at a small college, and next thing you know, he's playing for Georgia or Alabama or somebody else.
Yeah, the small colleges are getting just destroyed by this. Like your St. Francis, those guys that, actually go there and unrecruited, no name. They actually work hard. St. Francis teaches them, as an example, teaches them and coaches them up a little bit, and then they get better, and then they're gone. Somebody else pays them some money, and they're gone. It's very frustrating for the small colleges, the mid-majors, no question here. So I think a field goal would be a victory for the Mountain Lions here. If they can hold them to a field goal, that would still keep it a 2-score game.
Right.
And they'd be somewhat involved here and have a chance to come back and tie this ball game up. So Cedar Cliff tried a little option play of their own right there.
Didn't get much from it. It is 2nd and 9, 11 minutes to go in the game. Again, I'm Jim Abbott along with Chris Strawmier. And Andrew Neely, the high school principal, is here with us tonight. He's stopping by saying hi, sharing some thoughts about the high school and the programs and the sports and everything that's going on.
Oh!
Well, somebody, I think, moved, so they blew it dead, even though the snap was...
I know, that's too bad, because...
10 yards behind the quarterback.
And then the down would have counted. It would have been 3rd down and about 20. Now it's going to be 2nd and about 13. But, nonetheless... They get a big loss, you knock them out of field goal range, and that's not even an option. So
any other initiatives going on at Altoona High?
Put me on the spot, Mr. Abbott. Initiatives. Let me think.
I know you've talked about a couple of the things going on with your new medical program.
Right. Oh, nice. That'll knock them out of field goal range.
Yeah, that's out of field goal. That's going to be 3rd and very long.
3rd and 27. Vukovic comes right through, along with a couple other Mountain Lions, but Vukovic gets the sack.
And the Mountain Lions have definitely stepped up the pressure here in the second half. They're looking to run blitz and or blitz the quarterback on just about every play. They're bringing pressure up the middle, trying to time it out.
They're down in 27.
It works if you get home.
Absolutely.
One of our newer programs would be our robotics program that we started once we opened up the new high school. We have a nice laboratory for that. Students are designing and programming, so pretty awesome class. Oh!
Screen over to the left side went through the receiver's hands, and it was almost picked off by, I think that was that Dunkel, number 6?
Yeah. You almost want to punt here. I know that's crazy talk, but like you got 4th and 27. You're out of field goal range. Even if you gain some yards, you could pin the Mountain Lions back, and the Mountain Lions don't exactly have an explosive offense.
Either that or a deep pass.
Yeah, they're definitely going to go for it. Yeah, just fire it up. And if it's picked off, it's like an arm punt.
And it's in the end zone and caught.
Unbelievable. That is truly unbelievable. That has happened to them so many times this year in those kinds of situations. That's how they lost the Cumberland Valley game on a fourth down and long.
On a 4th and 26, they let the receiver get behind him, and Seacrest stood in there. He took a big shot at the end.
He did. It was a good pass. I just don't know how you let that happen. I don't even know how.
So the Colts are trying to tack on another point to make it 31. And that one looks good. So 9:30 to go. That could be the straw that broke the back of the Mountain Lions. They looked like they were coming back. They pushed them from the 5-yard line all the way back to the 30, but give up a big touchdown pass on 4th and 20.
And all set up by the punt that bounced off a Mountain Lion player. Kind of got in Parker White's way.
So when you were talking about the medical program, we had some technical difficulties with your mic.
Okay.
So why don't you just give us a recap of what's going on with that program?
So we just started the program about 3 years ago, and it's actually a 4-year program. Students can take the first class in the sequence as a freshman. It's a year-long course, and they progress through. And the whole basis of the course is to look at medical advancements, medical different technologies, and it's really geared for any student that has aspirations to get into the medical field, whether it's to be a doctor, to be a nurse, or even a technician. Those are very needed positions out in the field right now. Folks that can work on the different medical equipment, make sure that those are running properly, the imagers, the scanners, that kind of thing. So, great class.
And you said that
great series of classes.
The kids went up to UPMC emergency room this week.
Yes, they especially the seniors get to do a lot of looking at different, going to different medical facilities. We've had doctors come in for guest lectures. We recognize that in our area right now, the medical field is huge. It's huge everywhere, but especially here in the Altoona region, for students looking to stay in the area after they graduate, there's going to be a job here for them if they get into that world.
So is the program more built for, let's say, a nurse or a technician, or is it just medical in general and regardless of what you want to do, doctor, nurse?
Mm-hmm. Definitely the latter. It's designed for students that, regardless of what it is they would like to do in the medical field, or even, I guess, if they didn't have a interest to do it long term, but it's they just want to learn more about the medical field. But it's a great series of courses, and it's all project based. So one of the early projects is they have to it's a simulation of a outbreak in a hospital, and they have to decide and figure out, trace back where that started, where that outbreak started, so that they can, contain the outbreak. So a lot of simulations, about as hands-on as you can get in students in the medical field.
So earlier we were talking to Larry Detweiler, the band director, about how special a senior night is, whether it be a football player, a band member, or anything else. You as a principal, what does senior night mean to you?
Oh, it's so fun to watch these students when they come in as freshmen, wide-eyed, maybe not sure exactly, what's in store as they progress through the years, and then just to watch them mature and get to this point when they're seniors, it's a lot of fun. You think back to the conversations that you had maybe when they were young, maybe trying to provide some guidance, and then you just watch them grow and mature into great young men and women that are going to go out and go to wherever they're going to head, universities or into the job force or whatever it might be. So it's a lot of fun to watch on a night like tonight, to see all those kiddos that are moving on here at the end of the school year.
And senior night is that night for them to shine one last time under their home field, Mansion Park lights. I know as a coach, the last couple times we played games here, it was very emotional with not only the players but the coaches who worked all a year or 3 years with them. It is something special, like a rite of passage as they're coming up and growing up before they move on to the, let's say the next chapter in their life.
Well, and a lot of them are never going to play football again. I mean, that's very few actually go to the next level. They have some intentions, but then you get there and things don't work out for a lot of them. And I mean, I know my senior night was a rainy night against Hollidaysburg here. I still remember it. And I never played again. And little did I know it would turn into something like this, being semi-involved with the football team over the years. But so you never know where it's going to take you. I certainly didn't leave Altoona High thinking I was going to be a teacher and coming back here doing this kind of stuff. But so you never know, and it's always good to have those memories, and I'm sure they will have the same kind of memories always of this.
So Larry was talking about he remembers his senior night here as he went through Altoona High. Coach Strawmier went through Altoona High. A lot of our Altoona Area School District staff are former Altoona kids, Altoona people.
Right, absolutely.
How is that important for your culture?
Oh, I think it speaks volumes that someone that's come through our school system wants to come back and be a part of it once they've graduated and gone on and gotten a degree. We have a number of teachers recently that we've hired that were graduates, and it's extra special for me because not only now they're my teacher, but they were also my student not that long ago. So, in fact, there's one on the coaching staff, Mr. Eli Menser, that we hired just this year to teach special education with us. So he's making a huge impact in the classroom, and then obviously here on the sideline too. You see him tonight. So.
Yeah, you stick around long enough, it'll be grandkids. 'Cause that's where I'm at now.
I've hit that too.
That's where I'm at. So.
So the Mountain Lions putting a drive together. They're at the 5-yard line. It's 2nd and 1. At the 5, the Mountain Lions are showing some life here in the second half, but that last touchdown just might have been too much.
Yeah, and that's a first down. Going to be 1st and goal. There was just a couple ways to get out of that too. It's just so frustrating. They held him. They made him punt. They gave it back to him on the punt. Then they had him 4th and way long, and give up that long pass. Otherwise, they'd be getting ready to cut it to 3 points right here. I mean, so frustrating. But to their credit, they didn't hang their heads. They're out here trying to score.
6 minutes to go in the game. Mountain Lions 1st and goal at the 4. And they hand it off to Staines. He's going to sort of turn backwards and pump back into the line, and I think he's only going to get a yard. Cedar Cliff has really, through the middle of this line, they have held up well. They have put a lot of men in those gaps. Mountain Lions' big plays, as Chris had pointed out earlier, come from when they get it out on the outside. Second and goal at the 3. I think that's Niedermeyer himself, and he's going to be into the end zone, or?
He's in. That's 3 touchdowns for him tonight. 1 catching, 2 surprisingly as a quarterback with the throwback, and then 2 running, right.
So as you said, with 5:27 left to go, this would be like the Mountain Lions were cutting it to 3 or 4. That big 4th down play really is going to come back and bite them. So they will get set for the point after once again.
So, do I think that they would have it in them to come back and tie this? Yes. Do I think there's enough time? That's what I'm worried about. That's the issue right now with 5:19 left. I'm sorry, 5:27 left. I don't know where I saw 19, but 5:27 left. The Mountain Lions have to get 2 stops now. 2 stops because they're down 2 scores, which is going to be very difficult. A turnover would be really nice right here. They can get some kind of turnover. Get that TJ Watt punch out.
Don't steal any seconds there, Mr. Strawmier.
Yeah,
We're going to need them all.
I know.
And we were complaining about it the first half, and then the next thing you know, they drove 3 plays and in the end zone.
Yeah, it looked like they handed up the middle. They're just kind of wasting time, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 they were down there and they scored. So that worked out well for them.
So at this point in the game, is this time for an onside? Or not yet?
Because I think you're going to have to do it next time. So probably.
Looks like they're looking to kick it away. So, Mr. Abbott, as a former football coach,
yes, sir.
How often did you practice the onside kick?
We probably practiced it mainly Mondays. We did walkthroughs with some different things with an onside kick, and then Thursdays pregame. You always did a couple different ways with the onside kick.
They did try it.
And that second bounce went up, but it didn't really go super high.
Not high enough.
And the Cedar Cliff defender was able to just grab it right out of the air, right around chest height.
That used to be, and I don't know anymore, but 2-a-days back in the day, at nights you would come back and do special teams a lot in the summer. And that's where you really practiced that onside kick. And then you'd hit it up here and there.
Well, I don't miss the sleeping over at Mansion Park from coaching. Coach Ed Dalton wanted to have campouts here, and we put up tents and everything else.
We did not do that. I played for Vince's dad. We did not do that. We slept in our own bed at home.
Well, the Mountain Lions there come up big with a tackle on Dent. He loses 2-3 yards.
So Cedar Cliff going to be very deliberate. They're probably going to try to snap the ball with, under 5 on the play clock, at least under 10, I would say. Take their time.
coming out of the huddle a little too quick.
Yeah, maybe they're not. You would think they would do that.
So 4:51 to go in the game. Seacrest is looking around. He's going to wait a few seconds.
They're waiting. That's exactly
down to 7, and he's going to just keep the ball himself, run up the middle, and he's going to get a first down to the 38-yard line. So that's a gain of 14.
Yeah, that read option, he just kept it. He's done that a few times tonight.
And not only is it a first down, it keeps the clock moving. So when I go down at halftime and talk to people, they're all like, we're coming up there because you don't have a coat on. It's 40 degrees outside. I said, well, we have the window open. There's not really any heat, but we don't get the wind to get down there.
Yes, you don't get the wind. That's helpful. There's times up here when it's hot out, though, that this air conditioner really works up here. I have to put a coat on when I'm up here.
Now hand off to the other Seacrest, and he's going to get 3 yards to the 35.
Seacrest on the carry.
And the Mountain Lions are going to call their second timeout.
Yeah, they used one earlier on a big third down play.
So, Mr. Neely, personally, is your daughter still both in elementary, or is one now at the junior high?
Still both in elementary.
Oh.
They attend Pleasant Valley Elementary. Have a 5th grader and a 1st grader.
Ooh, so next year is the big year.
Big year, moving on up.
So she going to drive to school with Dad in the morning?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
I will tell you that's some of my best times is taking my girls in when they were at the junior high, I was at the high school. They'd come over and visit me after school. You know.
I remember.
So for full disclosure here, when Mr. Neely started at Altoona High, I was his mentor.
Yes. Yes.
So I was a assistant principal here for about 4 years when Mr. Brenneman left.
Mm-hmm.
And I was assigned to help Mr. Neely. And I think you had seniors your very first year.
I lucked out.
So you did not get the sophomores because at the time we just had 10, 11, and 12.
Right. I still remember that first bunch. They were really good class.
So basically just a quarterback sneak up the middle on 2nd and 7, and Mountain Lions will stop it again.
That was an interesting call there.
Timeout, Altoona.
Well, unless they just think they have enough of the clock that they can run down.
And they probably do, but I don't know. It's going to be 3rd and about, 7,
and
6?
It's not like you're up 4. You're up 11, so you're up 2 scores.
Right.
But to basically shut down...
Time is the most important thing right now for both teams.
Well...
And now the Mountain Lions cannot stop the clock anymore.
If the Mountain Lions stop them here, 4th down would be about 3 minutes on the clock. So a couple big college games this weekend. There's a few teams that out of the SEC and other things. I think there's 3 top 25 matchups. And when was the last time both Army and Navy were in the top 25?
How about it?
1960.
1960.
I actually know that.
Yep.
I heard that this week.
I did too. That's why I asked that question,
yes.
sir.
But so this is the first time in a while Army's been in a conference, and Army and Navy are in the same conference, and they are actually 1 and 2 in that league. Here goes Dent.
Dent gets the ball.
That's a first down, and that's
probably gonna do it.
If it doesn't seal the coffin, it closes it pretty mostly shut. But anyway, so they might play in the conference championship the week before the actual Army-Navy game.
Oh boy!
So we'll see. You know, if they keep winning,
chances are if they play 2 games, they're going to both split.
But
that Navy quarterback's something to watch.
Yeah,
he knows how to run that offense.
He's good. Right now, he's the most efficient quarterback in NCAA history, or something like that.
There's just a dive up the middle. That is a new running back.
3:35 in running.
I think that's Landon
Mountain
Howell.
Lions cannot stop the clock.
So 2nd down, and we'll call it a 5.
Tomorrow night is Georgia, Texas. That'll be a pretty big game.
And 1 versus what, is that 8?
Yeah, there's somewhere around there, 7 or 8 maybe. I think LSU's 9, so yeah, I think there's either 7 or 8.
What'd you think of the ending of the Ohio State-Oregon game?
Yeah, well, anytime you do something that makes a rule change, that's a pretty big moment. You can't intentionally put a 12th guy on that. Well, I mean, even if it's an accident, if it's in the last 2 minutes, it's a penalty and the clock gets set back. So it's like it's a dead ball foul, essentially.
But last week that was not the rule.
That was not the rule, correct.
And the ball got set back, but they didn't get any more time on it and then could not get a field goal off.
Third down.
So everybody is saying that Oregon and Ohio State are going to meet up again. I have a feeling Penn State's going to say something about that, though.
They're due. They're due, definitely. And Cedar Cliff is going to let it run down, call timeout. 1 second left on the play clock. 2:11 left. Third down.
Timeout, Cedar Cliff.
So at this point, if the Mountain Lions get the ball back, it's going to be with about 1 minute and 25 seconds or so.
And they have to run that 11-point play, which I don't think they have one of those.
Mountain Lions started slow as Cedar Cliff came out and scored the first 3 touchdowns. 1 in the first quarter, 2 in the second. All of them scored by Blake Seacrest. Then the Mountain Lions scored right before half on a throwback pass to Harrington from Parker White, and it was 21-6. They gave up a field goal to start the third quarter, and then the Mountain Lions have scored twice since then, but they gave up that big 4th and 30, so that Cedar Cliff has put it out of range.
Yeah, it's looking more and more like the Mountain Lions are going to have to fight for their second win next week at Carlisle on the road. Carlisle, who's getting thumped by State College tonight, is going to go into that game 0-8 in the conference and 0-9. So, yeah, they're playing a winless team, but it's also the last game of the year. Their senior night at their place, trying to fight for their last win. It won't be an easy task for the Mountain Lions next week.
Carlisle is down 60-0 right now, and there's a pass in the flats, and who else but Seacrest?
I'm surprised he didn't go in for a score there.
He took it down to the 2. The clock will stop for the chains to move, and then it'll start running again. So theoretically, they kneel the ball 3 times, they win.
Yeah, you'll see what they do here.
Well, again, I'm Jim Abbott along with Chris Strawmier. This is our last game of 2024. I want to thank our guests tonight, both Mr. Detweiler, who this is his last game as the band director as he's retiring at the end of the year, and then high school principal Mr. Neely stopped by and told us some things that are going on at the high school and what it's like to be an Altoona Mountain Lion in 2024. So I want to thank both of them.
They got the starters. Oh, he's going to kneel it.
He's just going to kneel it, and there's a penalty, which stops the clock.
Delay a game.
Delay a game. Offense.
But it's not going to have an effect.
Right, he's just going to kneel it and end this.
Well, we said 2 guys were going to hurt us tonight. One being Dent, the other being Seacrest. We were right on Dent. He had almost 180 yards rushing.
And we were right on Seacrest, just not the right one.
It was the other. It was the younger Seacrest.
Yeah. Although the quarterback Seacrest had a decent game too. He made some nice throws. That touchdown pass on 4th down was a tremendous throw with a guy right in his face. So they just have to kneel it 2 more times. Mountain Lions have no timeouts. Kneel it now and then do it under 40.
If Seacrest waits till it gets down to about 1, he only has to kneel once because it will be under 40 seconds.
And when this is happening, when you're out there, for those of you who've never been in this situation, the referee helps you with the math. It basically tells you, so you don't have to, because they don't want any extra plays and any extra problems either.
So he sits, kneels. It's 40 seconds on the play clock, 36 seconds
that's going to be it
on the game clock. So the Mountain Lions, valiant effort. They came up short, 31-20. Big play for Cedar Cliff has to be that 4th and 30 touchdown pass. But Cedar Cliff came off the bus and was ready to go, jumped out to that 21-0 lead, and the Mountain Lions just really couldn't come all the way back. They played better in the second half, but they were not able to come away with a victory tonight.
Yeah, to be honest with you, after that drive at the end of the first half where the Mountain Lions scored, from then on, they played them fairly even, honestly. It's just that beginning, that flat start the Mountain Lions had, and Cedar Cliff took advantage of it and jumped up 3 touchdowns right away. The Mountain Lions were never able to come back from that. The Mountain Lions actually outscored them 20-10 since it was 21-0. So, they played decent. They just didn't get off to that good start that they needed to.
Well, next week, again, the Mountain Lions will travel to Carlisle and try to pick up their second win of the season. I enjoy doing these games. I enjoy working with Chris. Tonight we had a couple guest stars. Overall, I don't think the season has gone the way the Mountain Lions wanted it to go, but I think they have some things that they can build on for the future. And I'm hoping that both of us are back to do this again next year, Chris.
Yeah, I'm excited for the next year and get some of these younger guys and get the Mountain Lions going again. And they still have one more game on the road, and who knows, maybe a playoff game. We don't know what the story is with that. So the Mountain Lions themselves are not done yet. You and I are done right now. So
yes.
We're done for the year, and we'll be back next year.
All right, so with that final score tonight at Mansion Park, Cedar Cliff Colts 31, the Altoona Mountain Lions 20. I'm Jim Abbott along with Chris Strawmier. Again, I'd like to thank MLTV and Mike Baker for everything they do for us, and another year of Mountain Lion football is in the books for us as we will leave you here this evening. So good night from Mansion Park.